Let's talk about this with retired Marine Corps Colonel Mark Kansian. Always good to see you, Colonel. Good morning. He is now a senior advisor with the CSIS Defense and Security Department, along with retired IDF Colonel Miri, who is also a former spokesperson for the Israeli government. Colonel, welcome to you as well. Good morning to both of you. So let's get into it. 2 fighter jets, 2 helicopters having to take emergency action because of Iran. Tell us about the Iran's air defense at this point after more than a month of heavy bombardment. Do we really know what Iran has in its arsenal at this point? And Mr. Kansian, Colonel Kansian, I'll start with you.
Sure. We have a pretty good idea what's in their arsenal. We've taken out almost all of the high-end air defenses. The ones that rely on radar, they illuminate. We have weapons that can take them out. We and the Israelis have been working to do that. The problem is this was almost certainly shot down by what's called a man pads. These are small air defense missiles that are carried by personnel, like a Stinger for the U.S. and the Iranians have an equivalent. They're very hard to find. Someone just has to stand up, pop off the missile, the very short range, but you don't know where they are. They've shot at some of our other aircraft. Those aircraft were able to escape. This one did not.
Colonel Eisen, could the downing of this F-15 potentially lead to a change in tactics, not only from the Pentagon, but Israel as well, especially while searches like this is underway?
Every military is always trying to avoid this situation. Obviously, this is not a happy thing, but let's be clear. This is something that happens in a war of this type. In the meantime, when we're talking about the last 5 full weeks, we're already into the 6th week now. What we're talking about is thousands of sorties. And what they have on the ground, both in Iran, but also Hezbollah in Lebanon, for that matter, Hamas in the Gaza Strip, for them, it is a huge victory to be able to say that they brought down a single plane. But it does not make that big difference if, and in this case I really do hope, that they find the missing air personnel, because it's more about taking the person than about downing the plane. So it won't change the way that we fight. It won't change the way that the airplanes fly out there. They're constantly looking for the air defenses, working against the air defenses. Yes, the Iranians managed once out of thousands of sorties. We're going to continue an act there. I'm worried about the same action, as I said, Hezbollah in Lebanon, let alone Hamas in the Gaza Strip.
Colonel Kansian, there's so much happening on the battlefield. I want to ask you about a big headline that came from this week from Secretary Pete Hegseth firing the Army's chief of staff along with 2 other generals. Your reaction to that?
Well, the Pentagon has not announced a reason. Now, there's reports that Secretary Hegseth wanted to take some female and minority candidates off the general officer list.
Yeah.
And that the chief of staff, General George, refused to do that. The Army, all the services have a very elaborate promotion process. All the candidates are vetted. There are, it's a consensus, their records are assessed. And General George felt that it would be improper to shortcut this at the very top after this, this very objective process had been gone through. So there's probably a disagreement about selection for general officer, but also about the role of diversity in the officer corps.
Colonel Kansian, let me stick with you for a moment on this topic. We're all hearing that the role of diversity could have played a factor in the firing of this very well-awarded military person, but do you think this could impact the morale of those who are overseas, or does this not really impact their day-to-day when they hear this kind of news?
Well, at the troop level, this doesn't affect them very much, but the officer corps is very aware of general officer promotions that get a lot of visibility. And I think that for minority and female officers who are hoping to rise, I think that'll be a bit chilling, because not clear that they were in any way less qualified. And this may send a bad signal.
Colonel Eisen, Israel's defense minister doubled down on their attacks on Lebanon on Friday. The question I want to ask you is, how long can Israel sustain the capability to fight wars on multiple fronts?
We've been fighting multiple fronts from October 7th, 2023. Hezbollah in Lebanon joined in immediately. The Houthis in Yemen joined in October 2023. We've been in direct confrontation against Iran in 2024, 2025. I don't want to sustain that, but I absolutely see this as part of the capabilities that we have to have. And if I can make a small comment, in Israel, where we have the draft for women, we still have that challenge of women being called, minorities and females. Just think about that odd way to see, what are we, a minority? We're drafted the same way men are. But that's just a slight comment about before, because we also have that issue about regulation. The IDF top personnel since the beginning of October 7th have all been switched inside this war. That's something that happens. But to go back to what we said before, multi-front is something that we can sustain. The main troops that are fighting right now in Lebanon are ground troops. There are military ground troops. If it's infantry, if it's artillery, it's less of the air capability. That's a side note. And the main air capability is the one that's attacking against the Islamic regime in Iran, over 1,000 miles away. So they do both. And the third is that we're still fighting on the ground inside Gaza. Hamas is still the one that's there. It's a very sketchy ceasefire while these two other fronts are going on.
I have to say that it's very fascinating, Colonel Eisen, that we're seeing military movement of personnel in Israel as well for this war. I'm sure more will come out on both sides, both nations. Colonel Mark Hansian, always a pleasure, sir, and IDF Colonel Miri Eisen, welcome to the show. I know you're joining us from Tel Aviv. We do appreciate your time. Thank you.